Everyone's gonna hate me for this one. Salutations, everyone. I'm Niru, and welcome to another. There's a fucking daddy long legs on the wall. Sorry. I don't know if I killed it. I know people say Usher the insect in, but then again, there's me who is definitely afraid of spiders, and I don't know, I just felt very creeped out at that. Sorry. Boy, that's gonna be an outtake there. Wolf kills a spider. What's wrong with you? I have arachnophobia. Please. Don't judge me. I am very definitely afraid of spiders. I'm sorry. Anyway. Everyone's gonna kill me for this. So, I saw Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and I think everyone can agree that we're now satisfied, we're now happy that the Mandarin was done justice with this more than Iron Man 3 did. And Marvel knew that they made a mistake, and they said, okay, fine, we'll give you the Mandarin, and we'll do it properly. And they did. And he was pretty cool. And this movie was fine. Everyone's saying, like, this is doing something different. This is better than a lot of other Marvel movies. And I can tell you this, they're not wrong. I was very shocked how serious this movie was. I mean, yeah, there's the forced comedy, the Joss Whedonisms that I hate in Marvel movies of today. But I feel like this movie has done a lot of things better. And everyone knows this, but I do not like Spider-Man Far From Home. I thought the movie was blah. I thought it was boring. I'm sorry, everyone who liked it. It just wasn't good. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy the story. I didn't like any of the setup of the premise of it. I did like him, Mysterio. I did enjoy him. I did enjoy that he was still in the character that he was in the comics, but I hated the fact that he was just another Iron Man villain, and he only hated Tony Stark. He has no gripe with Spider-Man. I hate that because we already got a villain like that, and that was the freaking Vulture. And it was stupid. And I will say a lot of the Marvel movies that came out after Endgame were very miss for me when I saw them. I just was not interested in them. I just thought they were blah or lackluster ever since Endgame, and they just bored me. I will say the TV shows entertained me, like WandaVision, Loki, and I'm sorry, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I liked it for a few parts. I did enjoy a few things about that show, but then it just became blah when it just faltered in its ending. Black Widow sucked. I really didn't like it. I hated how they handled Taskmaster. And this movie was 10 years or more too late, and they should have made a Black Widow movie from the beginning, but they didn't. And they made this poor excuse of it as a way to say, here's a send-off to the Black Widow character, even though you could have done something perfect if you made like a trilogy of these films, but they didn't. And we just got a muddled mess of what could have been a good Black Widow movie. But Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, I will say it was fine. I'm sorry, it's fine. I do love the serious moments in the movie. I do love the flashbacks and the backstory between the characters, with the father, with Shang-Chi and his sister. I did enjoy those moments of like quiet moments when it's all serious, when they are just talking about their past, or how they miss their mother, or why they feel their family has fallen apart. I love the serious moments in this movie, and the action is pretty well choreographed as well. I love the fight choreography in this movie. It was beautifully well made. I am shocked that there was so little quick cuts in the movie. Like, I was so shocked that there was no like, oh, look, here's like shot, 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 shot. Like, it was like, I know I always use this as an example. It never felt like in Taken 3, where Liam Neeson jumps over a fence and it cuts to 12 different angles and shots of him climbing over a fence. I know I use that example a lot, but it's the best example I can give about how I hate quick cut editing action scenes, and how shaky and how nauseating they are to watch. I just don't like them. And this movie used little cuts as possible and actually showcase all the nice fight choreography and stunt work that the actors or stunt crew did in this film. I really did enjoy that. I liked a lot of the fight scenes in this movie. They were very fun and interesting to watch. But with that said, I do love that. I do love the characters. I do enjoy a lot of stuff about this movie. And I can see why this movie gives big praise to the look, the visuals, the action, the story. I do see that. But despite that, despite all that wonderful, beautiful praise about this movie, there are the hiccups that do not get a 9 out of 10 for me. At most, this is a 6.8 out of 10 for me. I will say I have some problems. Like, there was plot holes in the story, like why did the dad just, captured his kids separately? Why couldn't he capture Shang-Chi separately, and why couldn't he capture his sisters separately while getting their necklaces? Why couldn't he do that? And why did he need their necklaces if he already knew the secret path that was already going to happen? Maybe he needed it because he needed a map, I guess. Who knows? Why would he send a postcard to his son to find his sister when he was going to follow him into a trap, even though he already knew the location of where his daughter was, and just said, you know what, I'll take her and the necklace, and that would be it? Was it just to capture their kids in the same location they're in, just so he can get the family back together? Maybe, but it felt very too complex and complicated to make it feel like it was interesting, to be more cinematic. That I feel like it was poor way of furthering the plot to get to the Ten Rings as a base of operations. And even dumb moments, uh and I'm going to be very vague about this. Even moments where I was so mad, where they're preparing for the huge epic climactic fight, and I'm wondering, because you're saying we got to protect this place right here and make sure your father doesn't get to it. And I was like, okay, why is there no one guarding this place? Why is no one there stopping him? I thought it was so stupid. Like, were they relying on Shang-Chi to stop his dad and then hope for the best? Because it felt so stupid that there was no one there to go and guard that place to stop his father. It was just left there unprotected for him to destroy. And I thought it was the dumbest part in the movie, especially with one part also where they tell you shoot that thing right now, but they don't because they want to hold it and pause it for a dramatic character bonding moment between two characters. And I was like, I understand what you're doing, but can you do this at a better time where it's not inconvenient and we might die? And it was just dumb. Like, it took too long. It was a poor way to show development of character. And then all of a sudden, you see them shoot this thing. And then at the last minute, when it was about to destroy the world, and then nothing bad happens. And I just thought it was a dumb moment. Like, there were some parts in this movie that just made me roll my eyes thinking, my God, you could have just rewrote that to be better. You could have made that flow better. You could have made that properly woven, but you didn't. You made it feel fumbled apart. And it really did piss me off. I think everyone already knows this already, but we do get Ben Kingsley back as Trevor Slattery, the guy who pretended to be the Mandarin. And he does have his little comedic moments, and he felt forced. Especially that's what I want to complain about, is the comedy in this movie felt awfully forced. Like, this feels like Marvel mandated this and said, I know your movie's supposed to be serious and such, but we are Marvel and Disney, and we need you to inject some comedy. So here's Ben Kingsley, here's Aquafina, and we're gonna let you run wild with this. And I just felt like every time I heard comedy come out of these people's mouths, every time I hear a joke get cracked in this movie, it felt forced. It didn't feel genuine. It felt like they forced themselves to put comedy in the movie, and you just cringe at the thought of it, at the sound of it. And I hated it. And when it tries to be funny in this movie, I hated it when it tried to be funny. But every time it had those nice dramatic and serious moments, that's when I loved the movie. Especially with Tony Leung, if I'm remembering his name correctly, his character, the Mandarin, with him, he was great in this film. Especially he's not much of a villain like he was in the beginning, but he turned a new leaf because he found love. And I actually love that. He found love, he was happy, then that love was taken away from him. And he immediately lost his way. I did like his character. He wasn't doing this for power. He was doing this because he missed the love of his life. And that was really good. I really did love that. That it showed that this villain in this movie has more of a character to him. That he is more than just a dude with 10 rings and he's about to destroy people with them and inflict fear into them. He's a guy that misses the love of his life and he would do anything to get her back. He does have a nice character arc in this movie. I mean, it could have been, handled a bit more better, at the end of it, but I say he had a nice, satisfying conclusion to his arc, and I love that. I did enjoy that. I like it when I have a villain that is sympathetic. Like, you understand why the villain is doing this, and you understand why the villain would do anything to get what they want. And you see that emotion of the character. You start to humanize him or her. I think that's like my favorite kind of villains, when you humanize them and know that they are actual people, and you see why they have to do the things they do. I mean, it's handled better than Enfys Nest from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because they kind of faltered a bit in that villain's arc, a bit in that TV show. But would I say Shang-Chi is the one of the better Marvel movies I've seen recently? I mean, compared to Spider-Man Far From Home and Black Widow, yeah, I like this more than those two combined. I see this one does better. I mean, yeah, it has its flaws and its moments where I'm like, ugh. But overall, I enjoyed it more than Black Widow, so that says much. I do like to see more Marvel movies be more serious, be more drama heavy. Sure, you can have your moments of levity, but it's gotta be, you know, written better or improvised better. Because the comedy I've seen in this movie was, yeah. I heard Eternals is more of a drama and more serious kind of Marvel film, is from what I've heard. But I heard that it also didn't do a good job with its character development, so that also concerns me if I ever saw it. It's weird how I'm criticizing this, and I'm talking about how Justice League did a better job developing their characters better and taking things seriously than Shang-Chi did. But hey, that's not fair. That movie was 4 hours, to be fair. So, it's whatever. Am I saying don't watch Shang-Chi? No, I say go watch it. This movie does deserve the praise it needs. Even though there are some flaws that people kind of gloss over in this movie, I say the movie does have its strengths. And hopefully, if they make a sequel to this, they will know how to play those strengths better in future films. So hopefully, I hope for more Marvel movies kind of like Shang-Chi in a way. So yeah, I give this movie a 6.8 out of 10. What do you think of Shang-Chi? Do you think I was too critical on a few things? Or was I right to criticize them? But anyway, thank you guys for watching. You can subscribe to my channel if you want to. You can like this video if you want to. If you love what I do, that's cool. And you can follow me on Twitch or Twitter at PsychoWolfBoy if you want to. I'm not forcing you. And I'll see you, Wolfpack, in the next one. Ciao, darlings. And remember, you are loved.